I'll never forget how low I felt at the end of 2023. I was so broke, so burnt out from trying to make 3 businesses work, and honestly, I was wondering if I would ever find my way out. And I wanted to give up on everything, but then I made one decision that completely changed my life. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Andre, and in 2024, I made a decision to finally start my personal brand. And I took everything that I learned from my businesses, applied it to the content, started to make content about it, and I built an audience of over 150,000 people in less than 7 months. But to be perfectly honest with you, I feel like I've barely scratched the surface this year. So in this video, I want to share what I'm doing exactly to build my $1 million business in 2025, and hopefully you can apply some of these things as well. So my goal for 2025 is to further expand my personal brand, double down on content distribution, and also grow my Unlock Creators school community, which is going to help entrepreneurs and creators from all around the world grow their own brands and find their voice and ultimately make money from their passion. And the way I'm going to do that is basically through content distribution, but also through networking, traveling, and building really powerful connections. I've been a lone wolf most of my life, and I realized that there's a lot of power in community. And going forward with AI, people will value human connection more than ever. So this is what I'm gonna try to provide with Unlock Creators. I want to build an audience of minimum 1 million people this year. I'm gonna play this video back so we can see like this time next year the numbers, but ultimately I want to help more and more people, and content distribution is how I'm planning on doing that. The first thing that I'm gonna focus on is destroying my limiting beliefs. And I think the biggest one for me right now is survivor's guilt. From the environment that I come from, my background, my family, no one ever did something like this. And no one ever actually built a business at the level that I wanna go to. And so on this path, I struggle with feeling that guilt for achieving success, feeling that guilt for getting paid to do what I love to do. There's a part in my brain that struggles with that, that just feeling of guilt, thinking, maybe I just don't deserve this. Maybe even though I've spent like 10 years plus like in the trenches, working on businesses, doing freelancing, going through my whole music career, there's a part of me that says, we don't deserve this. I have to destroy that survivor's guilt, because at the end of the day, if I was willing to go through the trenches, go through the pain, the hardship, and then at the end, if I got the results, then I do deserve everything. So I think that guilt comes from that fear, which is also like a limiting belief, that fear that I'm not good enough and I'm not worthy of the things that I want. And I feel like a lot of people from the outside looking in, they might think, okay, like you started your personal brand, you grew this audience, now you're getting the numbers, you have like you're successful, so you must be perfect. But that's just not true. Like I'm still dealing with a lot of bullshit in my mind that I have to silence and I have to just let go of. And one other huge limiting belief for me even now is this imposter syndrome. And I think we all have it, and especially with content creation, when you're starting something from scratch, the minute you start to see the numbers, again, there is a voice in your mind that says, oh, maybe like we're an outsider, maybe we don't deserve this attention. I do know and I do realize on a logical level that I do deserve the attention, because like I'm providing value. It's just that, again, there is that small voice that I'm trying to shut down. And for me also, one other thing is I have to realize that it's okay to say that I'm great. It's okay to give myself props, because most people tell you to just be humble, don't say that you're great. That comes from their fear of not being good enough, their lack of self-confidence. For the most part, I kind of defeated that, but I have to remind myself every single day that I am amazing, that I'm doing amazing things, because if I don't believe in myself, who else is going to be my #1 fan? You have to understand, if you want to build something bigger than yourself, if you want to build something that your family hasn't even dreamed of, it's going to require so much self-confidence up to like a delusional level from you, that if you just don't shout to yourself that I'm great, I'm amazing, I can do this, you're not gonna be able to achieve it. Another limiting belief that I'm trying to destroy is this feeling of being limited because of my background, because of the way I was brought up, the way I was raised by my family, even my country, Romania, like all of this stigma that like comes from here. And I think there is some limitation in my mind now that doesn't really like let me see the, you know, the bigger picture and like my full potential, just because my brain thinks, okay, because we're from here, we're from like Romania, we're not able to aim higher than the people who are from the States, for example. So that's something that I'm working on actively, and I'm gonna talk about it like later in the video, but my goal next year is to move, changing my environment, changing your places that you go to. Like that's the ultimate hack to kind of like improve your mindset. If I don't start from here with like the foundation, I'm not gonna be able to succeed at the level that I want to succeed and reach my full potential. And this is my mission, not only with my personal brand, but in my personal life as well. And I think they're directly correlated. I want to become like the best version of myself. The second thing is improving my routines and habits. And I always talk about this, but if you want to be successful, you have to visualize that person, that version of you, the best version of you, and you have to embody their habits. And I gotta be honest, I still have some small but like bad habits that version of myself, like Andre, doesn't have, like that successful Andre doesn't have. And so I have to get rid of them. For example, and I'm not gonna sit here as a guru, like to give you like this perfect morning routine or whatever, but lately it's been super hard for me with like the sleeping schedule. And I have a shitty morning routine currently. And sometimes it's really good, other times it's chaotic. I work a lot like during the nighttime, and I tend to, you know, just work until like 2 a.m., 1 a.m. And then I obviously go to bed, and I cannot make it, like I cannot wake up at like 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. as I would want to, like fully refreshed. And so that I've noticed how that like kind of slows me down. So that's something that I'm working actively to improve. And that's why I feel like it's so important for me to be transparent and, you know, tell you that I'm struggling with this, instead of saying I have this like amazing morning routine, I wake up at like 4 a.m. Like, no, I'm not there yet. I want to be. Essentially, I'm trying to find out what works for me. But currently, sleeping schedule is something that I gotta improve. The morning routine, something that I gotta improve. I wanna get more clarity in the morning. I wanna like sit with my thoughts, sit with myself, meditate a bit, get that clarity that I need to focus on my deep work. So that's something that I gotta improve on. And also, one really important thing for me is the gym, which I've kind of been neglecting lately, also due to the sleeping schedule and like working late. So that's something that I also want to fix, because I realize that having that healthy body, being fit, you know, doing the physical activity, challenging yourself in that way will give you just, you know, the energy first of all, and then the just the clarity you need to actually build stuff, to actually work on your vision. And because I haven't really been going to the gym like I used to, I've seen how that affects my mindset. So that's something that I definitely got to improve on. Another really important habit that I want to work on is handling setbacks in a much healthier and better way rather than punishing myself. So this is something that I'm still working on as we speak right now. So for example, I'm not having like the best day every day. Yesterday, I wanted to film a bunch of like more videos for YouTube, and I didn't. It was a crazy chaotic day. I wasn't in the mood, and I kind of like blame myself, and I punish myself like mentally for not filming, for not doing the things that I told myself that I was gonna do. So what I want to work on is my response to some setbacks, to the bad days, because we all have them. So I want to focus on that. I want to not punish myself, and I want to use the setbacks as fuel to push myself further, because I'm not gonna have the best day of my life every day. There are gonna be some moments, you know, some low days, but I wanna use those for the better. If you're in that spot right now, if you're blaming yourself for not, you know, doing like exactly what you need to do, quote unquote, every single day, that's toxic in a level. Like if you're adding more negativity in your mind, and if you're telling yourself, oh, you know, I'm bad, we're bad, like for not doing this, like I suck. If you don't watch like your negative self-talk, that will impact your personal life, your business, your progress, everything. So that's something that I really got to work on, and I'm focusing on basically trying to improve 1% each day. Like no matter what I'm doing, I'm trying to improve every day. I'm not gonna be perfect ever, but at least I can chase that better version of myself. And I'm only in competition with the version that I was yesterday. And my job is to make sure I'm doing like the best I can each day. Now that we covered the mindset part, let's talk about the personal brand strategy that I'm gonna use in 2025 to further grow my audience and my network as well. So I'm going to focus on basically showing more of myself, being more authentic, going on podcasts, talking to the camera even more, posting way more videos, and essentially just show up as myself as much as I can and just give more of me, give more parts of me to you. Because I think in 2024, I think I've been running away from showing some parts of me. And I still, even now, talking to the camera, I'm asking myself, like, am I showing enough? Like, am I fully authentic? So that's what I want to do. Going viral is awesome, but building that trust and connection with people by being yourself, by being vulnerable, sharing your mistakes like I did like 2 minutes ago, I think that builds a genuine human connection. So that's what I'm trying to focus on. I want to double down on being authentic. Like, I'm not trying to be this guy that tells you like, post this, do that, use these 5 hacks to grow. Like, no, I'm trying to be myself. And I know and I'm aware that I have a lot of layers to myself. I have a lot of sides that I still haven't shown because, again, it might, I might still have some limiting beliefs that I'm trying to get rid of. So doubling down on being authentic and going on podcasts and essentially just, talking about my story, being myself, that's the target for 2025. In 2024, when I started my personal brand, I started with like content on Instagram that was like with text, not actually talking to the camera. So I definitely want to do that even more, even though now I've started it and it's going amazing and I love it. I want to double down and do even more of this because, to be honest, with the risk of sounding like cocky or arrogant or narcissistic, whatever, I want to be everywhere in 2025. Like, I want to be on every platform and I want to essentially just share what I'm learning in my journey and document my journey because, to be honest, like, I'm passionate about that. I'm passionate about, pressing record and expressing my thoughts, expressing my views, my perspective on life, and showing more parts of me. That's the target for 2025. And also building the ecosystem in terms of content distribution is something that I'm focusing on. The next thing that I'm going to be focusing on is building my community, Unlock Creators. I'm going to build the school community for that, and we're going to expand the network, go global, go worldwide, and also have meetups around the world with entrepreneurs, with creators. And I'm honestly doing this because I wish I had this when I started. Like, when I went into the businesses, like starting my creative agency, doing e-com, I didn't have a community like this. And like I said at the beginning, I've been a lone wolf for most of my life, and I realized you cannot really go far by yourself. If you want to go far, go together. If you want to go fast, go alone. So I'm well aware that people needs that human connection. And so beyond the human connection, I'm trying to also provide education. So in Unlocked, we're going to have a lot of courses. I'm going to invite experts to provide the education and the insights for people to essentially, and for you to have every single tool you need to actually make money with your passion and builds the brands of your dreams. So Unlocked is going to be focused on education, on community, providing opportunities and connections for everyone, and actually meeting up in real life, and for us to basically further connect, build that network, and expand, and obviously come up with new business ideas and ultimately like empower everyone to create and achieve complete freedom, because this is the ultimate goal. And now the thing that I'm going to be focusing on the most to build everything in 2025 is going to be networking and collaboration. I want to travel all around the world and I want to meet entrepreneurs, creators, film podcasts with them, build those connections, and obviously in this process seek guidance as well. Like I said, being a lone wolf doesn't really get you anywhere, and I've realized how much I lost from that, from like having that sense of like, it's just me against the world and I don't want guidance from anyone. So that's what I'm trying to change. I'm trying to flip that entire mindset, and now I'm at a point where I want to travel as much as possible. I want to network and just seek guidance from people that have already done the things that I'm doing. And by doing this, I'm going to help others in the process as well with the meetups, for example. Like, I want to get creators together, entrepreneurs together, so that I can provide genuine opportunities for all of them. It might not, you might meet someone at the events, at the meetup, and you guys might like do a project together. I might not be involved directly in that, but the thought that I provided that for people, like, that to me is the best feeling in the world, because essentially you're creating an ecosystem for people to win. Because most people do not have a community that they can rely on. Most people want to belong somewhere. I think all of us, we want to belong to something. We want to belong somewhere. So providing that is going to be the goal. And obviously in the middle of all of this, collaboration, networking, and just traveling as much as possible. And that brings me to my final point, which is changing my environment, which I think from my own personal experience is the number one hack that you can apply if you want to grow your business, if you want to grow as a person. Changing your environment defeats like any sort of discipline hack, any routine, because getting new information, meeting new people, and essentially being somewhere else than the place that you're so used to, that will unlock so many different things in your mind. It happened to me before, and I want it to happen in 2025 because, to be honest, I've been feeling really trapped here. Like, I'm situated right now in Bucharest, Romania, and it's been super hard for me because mentally, like, no one around me has that mindset that I have and the mindset that I'm looking for. And I've started to build the connections with entrepreneurs, with creators from all around the world, but not a lot of them are here. And so the best advice I got from one of my mentors was, he told me, Andre, like, go, make sure you go where, to the places where your mindset is super popular. So Dubai is gonna be the target for me next year. I'm actually going there in 2 days for a couple of days, doing a meetup with Unlock Creators, having an event there. It's gonna be awesome. But yeah, Dubai, Miami, these places are gonna be targets for me because I'm well aware I've hit the ceiling in the environment that I'm in, and I need a new environment, new information, new mindset, new people to go to the next level and to ultimately build this $1 million business that I want to build. And so the last thing and I want to end the video with this, the last thing is like this goal, right? The $1 million business. Look, this is just a symbolic number. I'm gonna hit it, but it's not about the money. It's not about the money. It's not about the numbers with this. It's about what the numbers actually represent, which to me, they represent progress. Because I've said this before, I would have every excuse in the world to not be here with you today, not film this YouTube video right now, not build my personal brand, not network, not try to create a community that empowers others. I would have every excuse in the world. But because I didn't take the easy route, because I continued and I pushed forward, even though it was super hard, and it still is, that's the fuel that I need. That's the progress that I'm looking for. So the $1 million business, it's just a number. It's a symbolic number. It's not about the money, because I look at money as a tool to be able to provide even more value, reinvest it into the business, and build amazing things. Obviously, providing myself the life that I want and like building my dream life. But the number one thing is the progress and actually having the courage to show up as myself, and despite all of the odds that are stacked against me, make this happen and build something greater than myself that can help others. So these are the things that I'm gonna do to build my business in 2025, to expand my personal brand, build my community, and travel all around the world, and essentially building the life that I want to live. So hopefully you can take some things from here, apply them yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.